William Shakespeare said, "The world is a stage and men and women are players." I say the world is shades of prose and poetry. Today, our mastermind of In Dialogue, Mr. Sir Bharat Bhargav, is found on camera with his joy of poetry. Let's join him.
Namaskar, I'm Bharat Bhargav. Thanks for joining In Dialogue. Our topic today is joy of poetry. Poems are amazing. Broadly speaking, in prose, an author is at liberty to go on and on providing detailed information or painting an elaborate word picture. Poetry, on the other hand, has traditionally required rhyming and also limit in length the matras, meter or beher of its lines, albeit chosen by the poets themselves. The resulting need for brevity has led to artistic creativity and clever use of words in poetry, often even leaving some things to the imagination of the readers. The readers can flesh them out based on what resonates with their own sentiments, moods, preferences, and interpretations. In poetry, so often each individual couplet is a complete idea. Sometimes even a single line of a poem called Pankti in Hindi, Kavya and Misra in Urdu, Shairi, can have a profound message by itself. I'll share with you a few of my favorite poems from my teenage days. Individual poems would be known to some of the viewers, but my purpose for us is to get together and let the jadoo of their messages, metaphors, similes, artistry, and fill in the blank aspect play out in front of us. Many of our viewers would have heard about the famous Rahim ke dohe. Rahim or Abdul Rahim Khan Khana was a stepson of Akbar, who was also one of the Navratnas, or the 9 ministers that included Tansen, Birbal, and Raja Mansingh of Amer, later known as Jaipur. Rahim was a devotee of Lord Krishna. He was well known for his generosity in giving alms or bhiksha to the poor, but he would never look at the person he was giving to, keeping his eyes downward out of humility. When Goswami Tulsidas ji, the author of Ramcharitmanas, heard about this, he wrote to Rahim ji, "Aisi deni den jyon kit sikhe ho sen, jyon jyon kar uncho karo, tyon tyon niche nain." Meaning sen or sayana means wise man. So, "O wise man, where did you learn such a way of giving? The more you raise your hands, meaning more you give, the lower are your eyes." So Rahim Sahab replied to Tulsidas ji in his characteristic humility, "Den har koi aur hai, bhejat jo din rain, log bharam moh pe dharat aur hum pe karen taase niche nain." The actual giver is someone else who is sending it my way day and night, and people give me credit for it. That's why I have my eyes down, meaning I feel so embarrassed. I have found another couplet by Dr. Muhammad Iqbal quite inspiring. He said, "Khudi ko kar buland itna ki har taqdeer se pehle khuda bande se ye puche bata teri raza kya hai." Elevate yourself to such height that even God, before setting your fate, would ask you, "Tell me, what is your desire?" I don't disregard this as being sacrilegious. I see it as saying that human beings have much underutilized capabilities, and by making the right effort to fulfill the degree one could fulfill, one could earn the right to receive whatever one desires. Then there is "Jab tak na nadamat se jhuk jaye tere aage, ehsan faramosh pe ehsan kiye ja." The literal meaning here is that until an ungrateful person bows his head in front of you out of shame, keep doing favors upon him. Of course, it is not about putting anybody to shame. The message to me is to keep doing good deeds toward others as an end by itself, without waiting for or even expecting another person's appreciation. The poet may have also been suggesting that your keeping on doing favors without expecting gratitude may also ultimately result in the enlightenment of the other person. There is a single line, जो उम्मीदें करेंगे कम उन्हें सदमे भी कम होंगे. You can interpret it many ways. You could even connect it to karma yoga, in which focusing on doing right things without selfish expectations would cause fewer disappointments. The examples I have shared with you so far have had some overlapping ideas, but the world of poetry is like an ocean. So allow me to present a literary note that may be helpful to our viewers in experiencing the fuller joy of poetry today and in the future. There are two important terms related with Hindi poetry. One is rasa and the second is alankar. The word ras, as you know, literally means juice. In the context of art, it used to denote the essence. It is used to denote essence or main emotion in the art forms. Around 2nd century BC, there was an ancient Indian sage named Bharat Muni, another Indian hero. Muni means sage, a pioneer in the field of performing arts and regarded as the father of Indian theatrical art forms. Bharat Muni wrote the famous treatise called Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra, which has been the chief source of Indian classical dance, classical music and drama, is a comprehensive work on the aesthetics, philosophy, science and techniques of art forms. It provides guidance in theater architecture, production, costumes, makeup, masks, and various bhavs or emotions. For expressing emotions, it offers an exacting gesture language consisting of synchronized movements of eyebrows, eyes, face, hands, arms, feet, legs, and torso. As an aside, some admirers of Natya Shastra have affectionately described the name Bharat as being an acronym, with Bha for bhav, that is mood, emotion or disposition, Ra for rag or melody, and Ta for tal or rhythm. Bharat Muni introduced the concept of ras as being the fundamental to Indian natya, nritya, sangeet, as well as sahitya or literature, including kavya or poetry. He enunciated 8 rasas representing the emotions inspired by the performers among their audiences. So the rasas, 8 rasas are Shringar ras for love, romance and beauty, Raudra ras for anger, fury, Karuna ras, compassion, tragedy, sorrow, Vibhats ras, disgust, Bhayanak ras, horror, terror, Veer ras, heroism, Adbhut ras, astonishment, and humorous, hasya ras, for comedy and laughter. During the last 1,000 years, with much consultation among scholars, 3 more rasas were added, and they are Shanti ras, peace and tranquility, Vatsalya ras, parental love, and Bhakti ras, spiritual devotion. The second term I mentioned was alankar, a Sanskrit word. It means ornament. In music, the term alankar is used for ornamentation created via andolan, khatka, murki, and meen, in which one note transitions smoothly to another. In poetry, alankar means the use of figure of speech as an adornment. There are many examples of the types of alankars in Hindi poetic tradition. I'll discuss 2. The first is anupras, in which different words which have common consonants are used successively for effect. I'd like to give you an example of an Urdu sher that has been mangled by Bollywood. 2 words in it. Mai means alcohol or wine. Shisha means glass for drinking alcohol or wine. So it is, Yaro khata ko maaf karo, main nashe mein hoon. Shishe mein main hai, main nasha, main nashe mein hoon. Another alankar is yamak. The word yamak is from Pali language meaning pears. In this case, the same word or set of words is used twice, but for different meanings. Kavi Bhushan, who lived over 300 years ago, was a master in the use of this alankar. let me give you 4 couplets of his poem that he wrote in admiration of a king's valor, in fear of whom another king's wives had to hide in a jungle. This poem describes the condition of the queens. So the situation itself may not be so delightful, but the important part for us is to see the clever use of words. I'll give you a quick translation first and let you enjoy more of the words. The first word says, those queens who used to live in a huge palace are now hiding in caves in a dense forest. ऊंचे घोर मंदिर के अंदर रहनवारी ऊंचे घोर मंदिर के अंदर रहती हैं. Those who used to have lavish meals are now surviving on roots, and while they used to have 3 meals a day before, they sometimes only get to eat 3 berries in a day. कंदमूल भोग करें कंदमूल भोग करें 3 बेर खाती ते वे 3 बेर खाती हैं. Those whose bodies once used to get burdened with heavy jewelry have become weak as a result of being famished, and those whose maids used to fan them are roaming around lonely. By the way, in Hindi, kha and shah are sometimes used interchangeably. So, bhushan shital ang, bijan dilati teve bijan dulati hain. And finally, Poet Bhushan says that because of your fear, O king, those who were bejeweled with precious stones before and now shivering in cold because of the lack of enough clothes, Bhushan bhanat shivraj bir tere tras, nagan jadati thi ve nagan jadati hain. My last poem is by Ramai Kaka, who lived in Rawatpur, a small town in UP. He's sharing his experience when he first went to the big city of Lucknow and ended up making many boo-boos or experienced dhokas or dhwaka in Awadhi. I'll give the meaning of the beginning part and then to give you the pattern and then let you enjoy what transpires. He tells when he went to see an exhibition, a place where there are large crowds of people, he bought a gold chain for 4 rupees. His wife was very pleased to see it, but in 4 days the chain got discolored and his wife complained it was made of brass. And he said to himself, he made a big boo-boo. In the second couplet, he uses the words mehreu, meaning woman. Mati means mitti, so he's talking about a mannequin in front of a clothing store. हम गयन याक दिन लखनऊ हुआ कक्कू संजोग ऐस परगा पहलहू पहल जो सहरदीक सो कहूँ कहूँ धुआका होइगा. जब गए नुमाइश द्याखे हम जहाँ कक्कू भारी रहे भीड़ हम बिसहा 4 रुपया माँ सोने की जंजीर लख भई घरैतन गलगल बहू मुर 4 दिनन में रंग बदरा उन कहा कि पीतर लई आए हम कहा बहुत धोखा होगा. जब गए अमीनाबादे हम कुछ कपड़ा ले बजाबजा माँ माटी की सुगड़ महरिया जस जस खड़ी रहे दरवाजा माँ समझा दुकान की ये मलकिन सो भावता पूछे लागे या के बोले ये मुहूर्त है हम कहा फिर धोखा होएगा. मुआछन का कीने सफा चट तहमद पहने अंडी ओढ़े बाबूजी आके रहे खड़े हम बोले मैम साहब सलाम ओए बोले चुम्बे फूल हम मैम नहीं हैं साहब हैं हम कहा फिर धोखा होएगा. एंड फाइनली धस गए दुकानें दीख जहां मेहरेऊ या के रही खड़ी मुख पाउडर पोते उजर उजर और साड़ी पहने सुगर बड़ी हम जाना मूरत माटी की सो साड़ी पर जब हाथ धरा उई भबक जकुरी से खौखाए उठी हम कहा फिर धोखा होएगा. Would love to receive exciting your favorite poems for some time to recite, or have you recite with me? See you.